If I was my boss, I would be sick of me. I would. I'd be sick of me. Oh man. Uh. So I mean, anything at this point is really extra credit. Honestly, that's how I'm looking at it. Uh, in most military units, what happens when you're getting ready to leave and depart to a new military unit? Most most service members will take leave if they have it. Now, what I did was I decided not to take leave. Why did I decide not to take leave? Because the squadron is in a bind, and they only have 3 bench instructors. And so I said, cool, I'm still here, whatever, I got it. Meanwhile, life is still lifing. Deadlines are still approaching rapidly with limited or no progress. And I'm here. I'm here, for the mission. The crazy thing is, when most people would have just kind of folded it up and just kind of like, whatever, chalked up the deuces. Even though I know I don't have a lot of time, and I know I need to be doing other responsibilities, I'm still here for the mission. I don't know. It's just how I am. It's probably to a detriment at this point, because you got to have some type of balance. But when people expect a lot of you, yeah, either you got to adjust their expectations, or I don't know, or they have to just, I don't know, maybe they have to be problem solvers. Sometimes the easy button is saying no. No, not gonna be able to do it. No, can't support it. Now, to be fair, so my report date, I don't know if it's them doing me a favor or not. They kind of framed it like they was doing me a favor by letting me go within the timeline of departure, but I feel like that's not really a favor for me. It's more of a favor for them, because the regulation, and I'm just vlogging at this point. I'm not talking to anybody in particular. If anybody come in, great. If you don't, that's fine. I'm gathering my thoughts. The regulation says you can depart your base 60 days prior the report no later than date without a waiver. 60 days, that's like 2 months. So October 31st was my report no later than date. I said I want to leave 60 days prior. I want to be departing this base. And so that was 1 September. Well, that's 20 days away. And I don't currently have a moving date for when my furniture is going to get boxed up and moved. I don't have any of that stuff. And usually the base has, in the Air Force, the base has this process called the Travel Management Office. And what TMO does, because we like to acronym everything, TMO, their responsibility is to set a date for the packers to pack your stuff, and then a lot of times they will pack and move simultaneously, and then they'll schedule a subsequent drop-off or delivery date for your goods. Now me, because we already closed on the house today, as soon as the furniture can get there, they can move it. But there just has to be somebody to receive it. And so the issue now is getting all of the medical paperwork done. Because honestly, I finished out processing like in 2 days, in terms of going and checking in with all of the offices that I needed to check in with. without orders, I finished that. But the problem is I have this medical paperwork that has to get done. They have to have appointments in person. They can't do telehealth appointments. Even if you recently had an appointment, they can't say, or they can't do like a questionnaire or a telehealth, like let's do a phone call and let's address these questions. They can't do that for some reason. And this is one of those areas where I think we talk efficiency and processes. I think the military could gain some efficiency in that whole moving process. The whole moving process is an ordeal, and it should not take as long as it takes. It really should be a deal where you're assigned to a new unit, and you and your current unit decide when they're going to release you. And then when they say, okay, you're released, then you leave. You got to do all of your medical paperwork that has to get transferred to the next place. But like, my whole thing is, why are we still transferring medical paperwork when we're supposed to have electronic records? Right? That don't make sense. If you have electronic records, there's literally no need for you to go see medical. They could just say, all right, we're going to go into this system and we're going to release him from our side, and then the future side is going to accept him. Done. Process complete. You're good to go. Like, most of this stuff, with the advent of the internet, most of this stuff could just be a phone call. And that's actually what I did this time. That's not typically how it's done. Typically, you walk around with this checklist in your hand, and you have to get wet signatures from each individual that's responsible. And so what I did, I said, I ain't doing that. I don't have time for that. I'm just going to send emails to everyone, and then I'm going to call. Like, if I don't hear back from you, or if I don't receive a response in one business day, I'm calling. And we're going to figure out where we are with this process. A lot of people will end up telling you, oh, that's not applicable. Well, if it ain't applicable, why is it on my checklist? Can we not get personalized checklists? Like restricted area badges. If I am not doing a job that requires a restricted area badge, that shouldn't be on my checklist. And the thing is there's unit tasking codes, which is UTC for acronym. Unit tasking codes that define positions and they define requirements. So you literally could make the checklist based off of the unit tasking code. And everyone has a unit tasking code. So I really don't understand, like, in this 21st century, what really are we doing? Literally, it should be, you've been reassigned. Next day, you leaving. If you prepared to leave. A lot of times, because you got to sell your house, or you got to rent your house, you got to situate all of that stuff, which, by the way, I got a house here that I don't even know what's going to happen at this point. That's my fault, though, not the military's, because I probably should have called the property management folks like months ago, 2 months ago, and be like, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I need your help with. Me trying to be cheap, which is a blessing and it's a curse, being cheap. I was like, oh, I'm just going to do all of this DIY stuff myself. But again, remember, my unit is expecting me to be there every day up until I depart. That's not a typical expectation. It's not typical. Most of the time, they're like, take care of your family. Do this and do that and handle what you need, and we got it. Here, not the case. It's like, take care of your family, your work family, take care of us. And yeah, after you finish taking care of us, then you can handle all your stuff. And it's funny because, like, they'll ask me, like, well, when are you going to out process? I don't know. When you going to let me? It ain't that I'm not trying. No, I did out process. I mean, like I said, I ended up doing it in like 2 days. But still, it wasn't because they gave me this time. It was because I had to make and take the time. And so, I don't know. I say they get like a 4 out of 10 for that whole process. But I've seen peers that left with decorations and celebrated, that disappeared for like the last 3 weeks. Just not. If you needed them, you called or you texted them, and they will be back with you in a day. That's been my experience. That's usually how it works, though. But again, special. I'm special, and so I get special requirements. I don't get special allowances, but I do get special requirements. But it's all good. It's taught me humility. It's taught me patience. It's taught me grace. It's taught me how to lead. It's taught me how not to lead. It's taught me compassion. And, you know, the scripture says tribulations or difficulties create patience. And I would say that's 100% been tried and evident in my life, because the difficulties that I've had to go through just with the job, you know, life, family, everything, it's all been about teaching me how to wait and how to be patient. I had a little testimony that I forgot to share. But so my thing that I started doing, this is like a faith testimony. My thing that I started doing was, that's a God problem. That ain't my problem. That's a God problem. And so, you know, a part of me is like, well, I'm the man, you know, my natural. It's like, well, I'm the man and I got to figure out the solutions. It's my job to come up with solutions. But I think the scripture says, and I know it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. So in this natural society, men get a bad rap if they're just kind of like doing that, waiting for someone to lead them and direct them. Because, you know, men, we're supposed to take charge and move out. And we're not supposed to wait for somebody to tell us, and we're not supposed to be consulting with anybody. We're supposed to do it ourselves. But the scripture also said there's safety in a multitude of counsel. So when you have advisors, there's some safety in that. And, you know, you have to choose the right advisors. You know, if you choose fools to be your advisors, you're gonna get fool results. And so, you know, some of my advisors include my pops, my mom, my pastor, and, you know, trusted agents, like trusted friends. I have a buddy of mine. He's the same age as me, but in terms of timeline, he's retired from the military. He's traveled the path that I'm traveling. And so these are the people that I look for assistance from. You know, those trusted agents. Every minister and every person that means well doesn't necessarily have your best, I ain't gonna say best interest. Sometimes they don't have the word that you need. Sometimes people mean well. My parents, for instance, you know, when it was time, or when I was getting ready to leave this assignment, because God has richly blessed us in this assignment. And a part of me does not want to leave this assignment, but it's not for the military aspect, it's for the church aspect. Because, you know, my pastor, I love my pastor. And my pastor is not like like me, personally, this is how I am. I'm a real lovey, emotional, emo even type of person. Like, I love hard, and I love a lot. And I like to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. I like to say that. I like to tell people that I love them when I love them. And my pastor is not that type of way. He's a man's man. He's an old school man that men from his generation, that just wasn't something that they did. Like my pops, he didn't throw out a whole bunch of I love you, I love yous. He showed me. He showed me that he loved. But in terms of telling me, he in the last 10 years just started saying that I love you, or love you too, or we love you. That was a recent development for him. So I don't know what if moms had something to do with that, or whatever brought that about. Shout out to moms, because moms holds it down. But yeah, the title of this vlog was "Don't Drive Junk." You know how they used to have the ad campaign, "Don't Drive Drunk." Well, I changed it to "Don't Drive Junk." And what I mean by junk is like, now this car is a reliable car. It's a Chevy Suburban 2003. It's super reliable. This engine, I feel like, will run forever. You just got to give it TLC. You got to change the oil, obviously. You got to change the spark plugs every now and then. But other than that, it's going to run. It's solid. And so today, I've had this, and I told y'all in previous lives and previous things that I was supposed to fix this instrument cluster panel. Because one, I don't have any of the gauges that I need to have to operate a vehicle safely. And so today, it finally jumped up and bit me, because I was on my way to work, live streaming this morning, and I started feeling my car. It just felt like the engine was dying. I was like, oh man, my car's dying. Oh shoot, shelter in place due to a wanted person in Montgomery. Ugh. Oh boy. But anyway, I just got so busy that I wasn't able to take care of my own vehicle. And so while it's running well, the oil needs to be changed. I probably even need a coolant flush. I need a lot of TLC to this vehicle. Notwithstanding, I need to replace my instrument cluster panel. But this thing messed around, it ran out of gas on me. The engine just stopped. I was like, wait a minute, my car broke? And then I realized, like, nah, you haven't got gas in a while. And because, again, I don't have, where's the fuel gauge? Where is it? It's literally missing. I took it out, because the stepper motors, they went bad on it, and I was supposed to just do a quick little solder, fix it. Take it off, take off the old motors, and then put these new motors that I bought offline, put them on, and we back in business. Didn't happen that way. Life, time, busyness, ADHD. Yeah, I just was overcome by events, and it didn't happen. And then I went to my boss. He was like, did you ever get anything situated? Everything's... And he looked at me like, he had one of them disappointed looks. I'm like, what, man? I ran out of gas. That's legit what happened. Then I told him I don't have an instrument cluster panel. He's like, I don't even want to know. He's like, I'm going to just stop asking questions. He's like, so what's the estimated time of completion that you're going to have that instrument cluster panel back on? I was like, don't know. I didn't tell him, y'all contributing to, my stress and to my inability to take care of my stuff that I need to take care of. But, some stuff ain't for everybody, because he don't handle it. Like, just flashing back on our conversation, a lot of the stuff that I told him, he didn't like it. And I saw that he didn't necessarily handle it well. He didn't necessarily receive it. I could just tell by, his posture. Sometimes I'm talking, he cutting me off like, all right, you boss, you right. I'll shut up. So, I normally don't give leaders the 100% truth, but I gave him the truth that day. He got it. And man, I'm telling you, the Bible, another verse the Bible says the truth will make you free. I was free. I told him that truth. I was like, man, this is the toughest assignment I had in 17 years. Toughest assignment. And the crazy thing is this has been my favorite job, but my toughest assignment. How do those two things simultaneously coexist? Your toughest assignment, but your favorite job. Hands down, favorite job in the Air Force, being an SOS instructor. No better job. I think it's probably not SOS. I think it's the instructor, because I'm always trying to teach. I'm always trying to teach my kids. I get on here, I'm trying to teach y'all. I literally, it's in my blood. My mother was a teacher. Her mother was a teacher. I don't know what her mother did, but it's in my blood, and it has been my favorite job, easy. But all good things come to an end. I'm getting ready to go to this next assignment. We got 20 days left. I got 20 days. I got this shit that I gotta, like, I probably could just bulldoze this whole side of the house. This side of the house, it's got a fence. Like, the guy that lived here before, the previous property owner, I don't know why he didn't buy weather treated wood when he installed fencing, but he didn't. And that's what I inherited. And could I just nail it back and paint it, spray paint it, and put it back to a level place? Yeah, I could. But the thing is if I'm going to be a property manager, when it breaks, I got to fix it. I'm the one that got to fix it. So I'm like, well, let's just reduce the amount of things we got to fix. There's a basketball pole here with no basketball rim. To be here, assignment I broke, and here we are. And so